Okay, hi there and welcome to a special economics video. Recently we asked hundreds of A-level economics teachers to reflect on what their A and A-star students do that makes their work stand out despite the many pressures of the exam. So here is a selection of their thoughts, a dozen quotes that make for a great platform of advice as you get stuck into your exam preparations. And we've also added some links to some great resources to help you along the way. First quote: top students talk and write confidently about how the economic theory they're learning relates to the real world. Absolutely. Top students always use good examples. They're an important way to support your arguments in longer answers, both for analysis and evaluation. Now, you don't necessarily need lots of data, but just having that little extra layer of context, a bit of awareness to hand as part of your revision notes, for example, can make a big difference. So check out our daily blog. There's a QR code there to scan with your camera. The blog is where we link to issues in the news, and we also have a weekly quiz for students. Top tip number 2, students show a genuine interest in the subject added to consistent hard work. Yes, we agree. Always be on the lookout for articles, tweets, TV news pieces, anything that can add to your already excellent class notes. Revision at A-level is a marathon, not a sprint. There's a lot of material to cover across each of the themes. Consistent hard work means you have less of that extra pressure as we head into April and May. Tip number 3. Spend time studying current developments in economics that are relevant to your specifications. Not only enriches your understanding, but will enable you to refer to an industry or a firm of your choice if asked in an essay. This is really important. In lots of exams now in economics, they're asking you to talk about a country or an industry of your choice or a business of your choice. So becoming a mini expert on one or two of these is really important. And we really like the Deloitte Monday briefing written by Ian Stewart. It's a superb, concise resource which covers some important ground. So again, scan the QR code to access the Deloitte Monday briefing. Quantitative skills form a key part of your final mark at A-level. Let's not forget those. 20% of the grade. And Tutor2's calculation practice book for AQA and Edexcel, separate booklets, are a fantastic revision aid for all students wanting to give themselves an advantage in the exam. So I'll post a link in the comments box below the video. Point number 4, I'd say that it's their thirst to delve deeper and always question, as well as really solid knowledge. Questioning is evaluating. At A-level, examiners are looking for depth rather than breadth. So, you're strongly advised again to become a mini expert on industries and businesses and sectors of your interest. Develop a kind of profile sheet for particular countries, both advanced countries and also developing emerging nations. So scan the QR code above on this slide to access the latest Tutor2 growth and development country profiles, where we take particular countries and do a 15-20 minute video of them in some detail. Point 5, consistency in fully understanding the specific demands of the question. The A and the A-star students are really clear what the command words in an exam question actually require. For example, if it says examine, then you have to analyse and evaluate. Your evaluation, of course, should immediately follow your analytical point and not be left, as many students do, until the end of an essay question. Evaluate in separate paragraphs as you go. Almost halfway. Well, what is it that top students think do well? Well, here's another point. Well structured, concise and well articulated answers, which ultimately answers the question with everything you would have considered and sometimes more. Totally agree with this. Answer the question, yes, but the A-star students in particular just have that little extra ingredient. They've got something extra to bring to the party. Students who read and watch and listen have extra to say, particularly when it comes to the final reasoned judgments at the end of an essay to get to the top levels of response for evaluation. Now, we really like the Economics in 10 podcast series, which is a podcast if you want to learn about the lives, the times, the ideas of some of the world's greatest economic thinkers. Each episode is a quite a fun exploration of a famous economist using 10 different questions. Again, if you want to access this, scan the QR link, and that will take you to the Economics in 10 podcast. Point 7. The best students, they know how to manipulate and develop a diagram to help them answer the question. Economics diagrams will appear throughout all of your papers. You can't ignore them. Evaluation questions made specifically ask you to draw them and adapt them to a scenario. So look to develop a diagram. Don't just draw it, and write about it after you've drawn it. Okay, so that just drawing a diagram, you might only get maybe knowledge marks at level 1. Developing the diagram, writing about it, means you can get up to the higher marks for analysis. We've got a special video on A-star diagrams, and just scan the QR code to have a look at it. It's really good. It shows some great diagrams and also some horror stories as well. Point 8. Oh, before point 8, we mentioned the importance of diagrams and tutor to use. Diagram practice books for AQA and Edexcel are fantastic revision aid for all students wanting to give themselves an extra advantage in exams. So the fantastic resource to practice your own diagrams all the way through the syllabus in the right order. Again, I'm going to post a link in the comments box below this video. Let's move on to point 8. This teacher says, being consistent throughout each paper, no slip-ups. The shorter mark questions are just as important. Absolutely brilliant advice. Please, 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 please do not overwrite on the shorter questions. Oftentimes students spend too long on those 5-8 mark questions, and they then run out of time for the 15 or maybe the 25 mark question. Shorter questions require short, focused, accurate answer, maybe with workings or a quick diagram. They don't require extensive paragraphs. Okay, scan the QR code below for a collection of study videos showing great evaluation. Yeah, we're building that collection up all the time. A few more to go. This teacher says, consistent, well-organized economics with clear chains of reasoning and a clear judgment that answers the question for 25 markers. Absolutely. The exam reports, we've read them all. They are clear. For the highest analysis marks, yes, you need good diagrams often, but you'll need to practice writing answers with clear analytical chains of reasoning using the concepts that you've been taught. And again, if you just scan that QR code, that will take you to a page where we've got some examples of chains of reasoning in micro and macroeconomics. The 10th point from our teacher survey, don't forget to relate your answer to the real world, either making use of the information provided in the figures and extracts or your own knowledge. It is amazing how few application marks are awarded at times. Many of the marks go unawarded because students are not drawing from and using the data charts, the tables and the extracts, and signposting their answers really clearly. You know, things like figure 1 shows that, or table 2 shows this. Put the data into your answer and then perhaps include a calculation using some of the information. That's good application. We've got a whole series of videos on the UK economy. If you want to update yourself, again, just scan the QR code for our latest notes and videos. Always updated regularly. 2 more points. Actually, these 2 points come from the same teacher who provided us with just a truly brilliant set of advice. The penultimate point is that students, the top students, they should be able to evaluate using different political and theoretical perspectives. If you are aware of different schools of thought in economics, from the neoliberal approach to the Austrian school to the Marxist approach, if you're aware of different schools, that will add to your understanding of the subject and is incredibly useful for top grades. There is a new video series by the famous Cambridge economist Ha-Joon Chang from the New Institute of Economic Thinking, which is absolutely fantastic. So again, scan the QR code below if you want to access Ha-Joon's fantastic new 2020 video series. And finally, we feel this is one of the best just a quite superb final piece of advice from economics teacher Will Whidden. The students need to make it their mission to be economics experts. Deploy economics to thoroughly analyse either given extracts or their own examples, garnered through constant reading about contemporary issues and historical data and events. This is contrasted to offhand mentions of examples in mainly theoretical explanations. We see this so much from B and C grade students. They have a decent handling of the theory, but they find it really hard to apply that knowledge of theory to the real world. Finally, they should feel empowered to make judgments about the extent, the impact, and the relative importance of issues. Make reasoned judgments. Coming to a reasoned judgment at the end of an essay is unbelievably important to get the top marks for evaluation that can lift you to an A or an A-star grade this summer. Don't forget that there are Tutor to You economics exam workshops coming up soon. I'll be presenting on some of them. I'm really looking forward to it. We have thousands of students coming to these. Plush seats, massive screens. They're designed on the day and in the booklet to help every student wanting to maximise their performance in exams. And again, I'll post a link to our revision workshops below. Okay, well, thank you for watching this revision video on 12 top tips for students aiming for a high grade in their economics exams this summer. Work hard, stay curious, study smart, and good luck.